example, there's my class from first period this morning. The same thing we'll be doing, all right? So let's go ahead and get started with it. On my page, all right, so there's Multiview Drawing 2, page 121. I'll take you back to the home screen just to share with you where it's at. Multiview page, Multiview Drawing 2, Drawing 2, there's 9 drawings. This is 215 to 219, all right? 215 to 219. That's this week. Again, 8 drawings, or 9 drawings this week, 2 drawings per 4 days, and 1 drawing on Wednesday, or whichever way you want to do that, as long as by Friday you have 9 drawings to turn into me, all right? What I did is I divided this page into 3 sections. Page A, that's section A, section B, section C, all right? The reason I did that is so when you open this up, it'll open up to a PDF document, all right? That document is scalable. That's B. This is A. This document is scalable, meaning that you can change the scale on this. If you can't read the measurements on it, then you can actually scale it to your ability to see the measurements, all right? So we got 2 drawings today. We're going to do 546 and 547. I'll do 2 drawings on Monday and Tuesday. I'll do 2 drawings on Thursday and Friday. And on Wednesday, I'll actually do 3 drawings so I can give you a heads up on the drawing coming up for Wednesday. All right? But the drawings that we're doing today are the stop and the link. And I've got my PDF set to 250%. I can see it smaller than that, but I want to make sure you see it. The stop, the width of this stop, the total length, it's talking about the W, it's 5 inches. The height, talking about here to here, is 2 inches. D, being the base, is 2. The base is 1 inch, meaning it's 1 by 2 by 5. The top is 3/4 of an inch by 1 by 3. All right? So it's talking about from here to here, it's 1 inch. From here to here, it's 1 inch. From here to here is 2. From here to here is 3/4 of an inch. All right? And it's 1 inch this way. It's 1 inch from this line down to the bottom. And so what you'll also have to do is give me the top view of what this is supposed to look like. All right? The book and I give you the front view and the top and the bottom and right side view, and you're supposed to give me the front top view as well. All right, so let's go to that drawing. Let's go to AutoCAD. So we're going to start using layers in here. Layers in AutoCAD. I've turned off my construction line layer. We'll turn off my dimension line layer, turn off my object line layer. And so that all that leaves is that messy page with the construction lines on it. The other day when we started drawing in AutoCAD, I told you there'll be a time in which you can leave the dirty lines on your screen and we'll just be able to turn them off, all right? I'm going to go to my construction line layer to make sure everything I'm doing is on a construction line layer. Now, all I did is I knew this bottom block was 5 inches, but I needed to start somewhere, so I went to construction lines. This is the construction line, or if you just type in Excel in your command line and wait for your computer to catch up with you. I just picked a point on my page and did one going horizontal, and I did one going vertical. From there, I went to the line tool. I came over, 5 inches, 1, 2 inches, and came back over 5 inches. And some of you are saying, why did you go over 5 inches when you only needed 3 on top? Because the easiest way to do that is to go over 5, then come back 1 on either end. All right? Because your construction lines are just your basic layer. There's something for you to build on. All right? Then on the right side view, I know that view is 2 inches wide by 2 inches tall. That section there is 3/4 of an inch wide. All right, so that's what I did next. So I started with a line tool, I came out, gave myself 2 inches separation between these views. I drew a line up at the end of that 2 inches, drew it 1, went over 2, went over 2, came back down 1 and back over 2. That had my base about 1 by 2. Then I came over from the midsection of that right side. Now watch this. See how that line's popping up there? If that line wasn't there, excuse me a second. Get my line tool again. Turn off my stat there. So if I'm going up 2 inches, I've already gone up 2 inches. There's an easy way, if I can get my lines to show up. There's an easy way to find the middle of that line, and that is to turn on your midpoint snap. All right. Now I know that's 2 inches there. That little triangle popping up shows me the middle of that. If I were to do that for 0.75, that's 3/4 of an inch. Up 1. Back over 0.75. I have the same thing I have down here that I created here. All right. I didn't want to. You just got to use your snaps and make things work a little quicker for you, because I did 2 drawings yesterday evening in less than 40 minutes. And that was what I was watching while I was watching television. All right. 2 drawings in less than 40 minutes, completely dimensioned and completely finished. All right. In layers. Now, how do you set up your layers? Right here, if you're using AutoCAD, you go to Layer Properties. Center lines, construction lines, dimension lines, hidden lines, object lines, right? Now, there's no center lines in this drawing, but we still try to use the same layers every single drawing. Now, the crazy line is something I did last first period just to show people what to do. All right, say for example, I wanted to edit that. I wanted to edit that layer. Or if I wanted to clear that layer. Let's say if I wanted to set that current layer. All right, that current layer is now, current. The line is sort of a pinkish color, and it draws a zigzag line. All right, so I'm going to close my layer properties. There's my zigzag line. All right. Now let's go back to our layer properties and do something else here. Now, if I wanted to get rid of it, all I've got to do is do this right here. See that red X on that one? And it's going to ask you to confirm that you want to delete the selected layer. Excuse me, I can't even talk today. All right.
So do we need these layers in our drawing?
Yes, you need those layers in your drawing.
Wait,
right,
so
yeah, go ahead.
What layers do we need in our drawing? All those?
I'm sorry, the bell's ringing on my side. What did you ask?
What layers do we need in our drawing?
You need the object line, hidden lines, dimension lines, construction lines, and center lines.
Do we have to make that ourselves?
Yes, you do. Now there is a template on the actual assignment. Let me hit escape here. Get out of here. Make sure I didn't do it. And the actual assignment, you'll see a template laying right here. There's a fractional template. If you download that, let me see if I can download it and see if that's actually the right template or not. Nope, that's not the right template. All right, so what you've got to actually do, what I may do real quick is this right here. All right, so fractional template, I'm adding an object layer. I'm going to change that color to the cyan. It's continuous line. Hit OK. I got to hit that first. Continuous. I usually make my object lines about 0.5, just to give it a little thickness. Then I'm going to add a construction line layer. When I get making this template, I will actually put it on the assignment for you, and that way you can actually get it. And so we go here, that'll be red, okay. Construction line layers, they need to be thin. 0.25 would be thin enough, because you basically just want to see the lines. You just don't want to. The reason I make the object lines pop is because they're supposed to be the actual what you're looking at. All right. Then I'm going to add a center line layer. And we'll change that to a dark blue. And then that's going to be a center line. You have to go and load those. Otherwise, I'm going to use a center 2, which is 0.5x. So I got to go select that again. Let's load, nope, cancel. Hit OK. It changes to the center. Once you load a line, it's for you, it'll always be in your library. For me, or if you're here at school, you may have to reload it every single time you come into the classroom, unless you're using a template. So let's go add another layer. This is going to be your hidden line layer. Hidden line layers gives you the ability as a person to give that person the ability to see through the object itself. Make them yellow. What's that? What's the question?
Whether it's just me or not, the screen seems to be frozen and I can't see any lines on the graph.
Oh, I'm not doing any lines. I'm just actually typing in the layers now. I'm just changing your layers. And then I'll have to change my line type here to hidden lines.
So with all those layers, like, for example, the hidden line, how do I know what to draw with the hidden line?
All right, so give me just a moment. I've got the next drawing we're doing today, because we're doing 2 drawings today, right?
Yeah.
The next drawing I have actual hidden lines involved with that. So let me get this made, and that way when I get ready to let you guys go, I can actually attach this to that assignment. That way you're not trying to do this yourself. And I always use the fuchsia for my dimension line layer. And you want your dimension lines to be continuous. And so object layers, construction line, hidden lines, dimension lines. Okay. That pretty much takes care of all of our layers. So I'm going to go out and save this as a template. I don't think I can save it as a template, because when I save it as a template, it takes the layers out of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it as fractional. With layers. Fractional with layers template. And so I go to save. Make sure that's saved in cancel that. To save it as today's date, 2/15. I've already got one in there with the exact same thing. All right, so that's the, when you pull that down, it'll actually be fraction layer template 2151, 5521, excuse me. All right, so that is the stop. That's the same layers. And I will need to make sure I do something else to this real quick. Make sure my dimension styles are set. And then we'll go over the second drawing, and then I'll upload that template. Primary units are going to be fractional. Everything else is all right. Fit, text, symbols and arrows. All right, so hit OK. Close. right, so Jared, you can see my drawings right now, right?
Yeah.
See the line on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure you can still see it. So let me save that one more time. So let's go to 5-47 link. That's the drawing there, but let me go over what the drawing is actually like on here. Now let's stop. That's the first drawing we did. 5-47 link. The width of this talks about 7.5. It's 7.5 from here to here. All right. If you try to make this from 7.5 from this arc here to this arc, it's going to be a lot smaller than it needs to be. So it's a 7.5 from here to here. Your diameter, your depth of this is 2.5. The height of the front view is going to be 1 1/4, and the holes are 1 1/16 diameter. So these holes are 1 1/16. So let's go to our drawing. And again, I'm going to start by turning off my object lines. Start by turning off my hidden lines, my dimension lines, and my center lines. Now that's something else we have to worry about with drawing with circles on it. You got to show the center lines when it comes through the object at. So now I'm going to use my construction line layer. Now on this drawing, I started with the top part. Came out, got my construction line, set my construction line here. Then I took a line and measured from here to here for the center, 5.5. And then I drew my circles. I knew this circle was a 1 1/16. I knew this circle was going to be 2.5. 2.5 because it tells me right there, 2.5. The diameter, the depth of this across is 2.5. Then I brought this line down from this edge. It started this rectangular front view. It's 7.5. Then I brought my construction lines beside my circles to bring these lines down. Because you need to put these lines down because you need to be able to represent there's a hole going through here, and you're giving the person that actually looking at this drawing the ability to see through the solid piece by giving them the idea that there's hidden lines there. All right. Then when I got finished with that, I came back up here. I drew a line from this point to this point. I made sure my tangent line snap was on. Your tangent snap will allow you to actually snap right there next to that circle and come out here and snap there. Then come down here. Now, you can do that. You can do it 2 times, or you can do it just this way. I do it the easy way. I take this line, select it. I mirror that by this line right here. Now you see the bottom line looks a little bolder. Then you also have to answer the question, do we want to erase the source object? And we say no. Because if you erase the source object, you erase the first line you drew, and then you have to go back and mirror it back up. So you never want to erase the source object unless that's something you really want to do. And then once you get that done, then we go down here and bring our arc, our through holes down through here. All right. Then we go back, we turn on our hidden lines, our object line layers. We just block everything up. our dimension line layer, and our center line layer. All right. Now, another way you can to do the arcs. To do these arcs here, we have to go to center, start, stop. Center, start, stop. Or start, center, stop. It's start, center, stop. Start, center, stop. It puts the arc on the outside. Now on the other side of this, on the other side of this shape, we have to go start, center, stop. It depends on the side of the object you're working on, which way you go first. Sometimes you just have to play around with it and see what it does, all right? And then my lines, let's go to my object line layer. All right, so then make sure your construction lines are here. My computer can go crazy on me because I got too much open on my screen here. All right, let's see here. I got a little bit too much opened up, I think. My computer's going crazy on me. Let me save it. So let's go to line tool now. Make sure you use your snaps.
How do you turn on tangent snap on web app?
What's that?
How do you turn on tangent snap on web app?
Web app, okay. So I'm going to come out to web app and show you on web app, okay?
Yeah.
And so that's in AutoCAD. I'm going to save that drawing. Because while ago I screwed up my object lines when I did something, so I want to make sure I got them back. So I'm going to come to web app. And there's the same drawing in web app, right? Your snaps in web app are right here. Your tangent is there. Your endpoint, midpoint, intersection, center. All those tangents, all those snaps are right there. Okay? That's how you would do it. Any question? Let me
Okay.
come back.
So we draw the actual shape with the light blue lines, right?
Hold on just a second. Let me turn the recording off.